Hello, I chose John Pemberton, the inventor of Coca-Cola, for my Hall of Fame project. World War II propaganda consisted of many forms of advertisements, and these on the screen are mostly of the printed advertisements on newspapers. And all of these are promoting the war effort in some fashion. Some show how civilians wanted to help by the Uncle Sam. He was directly promoting volunteers for the war. But the one with the airplane shows how the civilians could help save the materials to promote this war effort. The pictures and themes across these advertisements typically highlight the products that gives the idea to the viewer that certain products will increase the war effort in some way. And Coca-Cola did the same thing with their product. In this picture, or advertisement, they're happily lounging and drinking their beverage while not actually fighting. And visuals similar to these reflect common themes of how the soda will make them better fighters or bring more success to the war. And this gives the impression that Coca-Cola is directly impacting the war of their success. On the front lines with Coca-Cola, this photo, it's ironic because Coca-Cola wasn't actually on the front lines with Coca-Cola, but it's portrayed as such, hoping to gain the popularity. Although now we understand that soda doesn't really make you any more productive or a better fighter, these advertisements back then were convincing and persuasive and very thought out. I'd like to show you a clip of an advertisement that was used in 1950. Although they didn't promote the war effort in this specific advertisement, one can see that they wanted to show all the positives of drinking this beverage, such as the sparkly feeling you might have after drinking it. And along with these videos and silly songs, Coca-Cola also wanted to take off as a business, so John Pemberton began giving away free tickets for his Coca-Cola drink, such as this one, to gain popularity and to expand his business. And doing this would help the sales of his beverage. We see these types of commercials all the time now. I just bought a pair of Gymshark leggings, but what drew me in was their clothing sale. This helps their business grow larger as they advertise more. But Coca-Cola wasn't the first company to use this, obviously, but it sure became more popular at this time when their media was becoming more widespread, and also the economy was quickly gaining speed. These marketing techniques used back then and today are impactful because it led to a booming economy where lots of people were relying more on immediate access to products. Right now, you and I can look at probably hundreds of logos and slogans and be able to tell which ones they are and which company they come from. So I'm gonna need your guys' participation in the video, and you guys are going to shout out in your classroom which company you see on from the logo that I show you guys.
Starbucks.
TikTok.
Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's.
Apple.
Coca-Cola.
So you guys crushed that test. That was awesome, but not even, it wasn't even hard for you guys because these images are imprinted into our minds because they're being pushed everywhere that we see. Sometimes we don't even have to go anywhere to view them, such as like pulling up our phone on YouTube or whatever. But Coca-Cola's business began doing this very thing by sticking their logos on the trucks of the company, so that whenever they got out, people from the streets would notice their truck, they would look at their company, they would just be more seen throughout the streets. And it's important to make note of these marketing techniques because the big businesses used this at the time because it was the first time that the United States had the current media form and widespread ability to advertise in this way. They also had the radio, the TV, and the newspaper to advertise, and this would only become more widespread. Not only did the advertisements increase Coca-Cola sales, but it also shaped American consumerism. The more Coca-Cola and other similar businesses advertised, the higher demand they received. Increased demand meant more workers needed to support the factories, which means more Americans were receiving these wages. The wages were then reinvested in the economy through consumer purchases, and this creating the cycle of consumerism that we see today, and that also led to multiple economic booms later in time. The Depression era was behind the American citizens about this time, and those that largely experienced it were having families of their own, and they were able to send their children to colleges to get an education. And so the parents of these families were then looking for jobs. And the big businesses were able to provide the jobs because the economy was growing so large, and so were the businesses. And this led to an increase of flow of money in America, and the big businesses became more powerful, more influential, and skilled. And they created lots of jobs to be taken up by these families. Coca-Cola actually expanded so largely that they were the sponsor of the 1928 Olympic Games. And this demonstrates America's eagerness to be involved in the world affairs. Finally, Coca-Cola's impact has helped America be more involved in the world by providing something that all countries could agree on and continuing the trend of consumerism, making Coca-Cola and its original owner, John Pemberton, worthy to be in the Hall of Fame.